Hello, sisters. One song describes what I'm going through now, and that is If You Break My Heart, I Go Date Your Father by Ebony.
Hey.
I was someone who didn't want to fall for the wrong guy in school, so on campus, I was the one people gossiped about that she was too stuck up. However, one gentleman broke through my emotional barrier and I fell hopelessly in love with him about 5 years ago. In fact, I gave him all of me. He was the first man I ever got intimate with, and he promised me heaven and earth. To cut it the long story short, I found out very painfully that it was actually a bet. A bet between him and his boys that he could easily get me by actually using love as a bait for me. I was shattered, but I decided that I will get back at him one day. Not now, but eventually. Fast forward, I started working and realized the owner of the company was his father. I then decided to go in for his father as revenge. His father is an older, very dapper gentleman who's divorced from his wife, my ex's mother. It started off as revenge when the idea set. When the idea set in my head. But I quickly realized that as I started getting to know his father, he was actually a gentleman. He was kind, respectful, took care of every need, and was fantastic in bed. In fact, older men are amazing. I have now fallen head over heels with him, and he with me. In fact, he's proposed to me, and I'm now considering marrying him. His son, however, recently found out and is so furious because he knows it's revenge on my side. However, his father says he doesn't care that I've dated his son, but now his son is turning all his siblings and the entire family, in fact, everyone against me, and making it really uncomfortable to be in our relationship. I'm ready to risk it all for him, but I don't know if society, his son, and the entire family will make it easy. Shall I stick it out? Or perhaps just date without the marriage option? Because I honestly can't see myself walking away from this man who is perfect in every way. Dear sisters, help me.
Aww.
Oh.
Love from revenge. La revenge that has turned sweet in the end, but not for everybody involved. If you date my heart, I'll go date. If you break my heart, I'll date your father. Now, I'm actually very curious to hear. I'll start from you, Olivia. The points she's raised and how you feel about it. The fact that she started off with revenge, but realizing very quickly that the man is actually a lot more complicated because she's now falling head over heels and he with her. But thankfully, he doesn't care about the fact that she's dated his son before. But you know how difficult it can be if everyone else hates you in a relationship. Everyone else that you need to create the support system that you want to proceed in this relationship with is against you. Maybe even on her family side, even though she's not specified, but definitely on his side.
Okay, so this is a clear case of a guy whose intentions were wrong to start with. She also started off with the wrong intentions, but ended up falling up in love with this man. She's entitled to feel the way she does. She's entitled to love this man. He's been divorced. He probably was very sorrowful. He wasn't happy until she came along. He's entitled to be happy. I feel like his son is being very selfish about the happiness of his father. That's just what I think. And if you have your parents' blessings, why not? This man has been there and done that. If you can continue to love him the way you say you do, not cheat on him, be there for him, and if he wants to marry you, I would say go in all out for it, because you would always have society. I mean, not everybody in my family loves me. Even when it comes to siblings, not everybody always loves you. Not everybody always agrees with you. But you have to know that once you say yes, it will be you against the world, and you have to do everything in your power to make it work. At the end of the day, the father doesn't necessarily need consent from his son. If it had been the other way around, then it would mean that the son will need consent from his father, the parents, yada, 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 yada. But this time around, it's the father himself who is in the relationship with you. The thing is, if you've decided to make it work and work against the odds, it will work for you. And if you pray on it too, it should be fine. I don't see why you should not be happy. And especially because you've told the man the truth. You used to date his son. He doesn't even care about it because he's happy with you and because you make him happy. So this boy, okay, so the sisters are against it. the nephews, the nieces, everybody are against it. I think they'll just get over it. I don't know, they should get over it, because they should ask themselves what makes their father happy. And maybe daddy should have some kind of conversation with the family to let them know that, okay, this is what it is. This is the girl I'm in love with. I want to marry this girl. I'm happy with this girl. Are you guys interested in what makes me happy? At the end of the day, I'm not even sure how old he is and how much more time in life he actually has.
So he might as well be happy at every moment he can get.
As well, I don't know how his previous relationship went, his previous marriage went. I would say make it official. Once you make it official, you decide to work on it. And if you work on it and you're happy with him, I don't see why anything should stop you, really.
Well, coming to Sisho on this, every relationship you like to and know that the person loves will love you too. You want the family to accept you. You would want some semblance of peace when it comes down to the support system. But this is a situation where, based on your premise of revenge, which everyone else can sort of suspect, and rightly actually, it's ruined that entire ecosystem for you. Nobody wants you in there. Now you have to not only contend with having to deal or create a family and then a system that works for you. You also have to deal with all this negativity from outside coming in. Eventually, it could overwhelm the happiness of the relationship. We never know. But it's the premise and how it's developed. Looking at this entire story, what are your thoughts on it?
I think, well, thankfully, how it started is not how it's going now. Because, like she rightly said, it started off as revenge for her, but she got to know this person, and then she realized he was not what he was deeper than she thought he would be. And it turned out, it blossomed into something a lot more beautiful than that. Why not? She should totally go for it and make it work, especially that she's also told him the truth about her prior relationship with his son. This is a ground for something beautiful to happen. Like Olivia rightly said, some of these outsiders, depending on who they are or the role they play in the relationship, you either give them strength or weakness in the relationship. They are his children or his nieces and nephews, etc. At his age, his parents do not really matter much in terms of the influence they can give him. He has a son who is old and all that. So,
and siblings,
siblings, exactly. Yeah. I think she should go all out into it, enjoy this love that she's getting from this person, and make it work. But the son is an infant still; he has not grown.
Clearly.
Given how he's behaving, is telling that from his uni days he's still not matured into a proper man. Because you would think that at this point where his father is dating his ex, he would have behaved properly and known his place as a man, as a gentleman, how to behave, but he's still not gotten there yet. Hopefully he gets there at some point in their marriage, if they do go ahead to marry. But until then, I think she should go ahead and enjoy her life and enjoy her future with this person. It wasn't that you did right by this girl before she left you, or she cheated on you, or she left you hanging. You went to bet on her, exactly, out of your immaturity, and you are still living in that stone age. You're still not evolved. So unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done to help you. You need to get there on your own. But I think for the girl, she should just go ahead and have her fun and enjoy. But she should be very wise in terms of, if she does go ahead to have children, for example, I would advise that, especially that this man is slightly older because she dated his son, she should make sure that whatever it is that, because these are some of the problems people who marry older people face, I've realized, is one, the likelihood that because this person is older, they might die when maybe your kids are younger. So you need to make sure that whatever investment there is that you can do for your children, whatever you need to put in place for your children to be able to live this life right, even in the absence of their father, you are doing all that. The onus is lying on you at this point, because what might happen is when this man is no more, the family will pounce on you with every energy they can get.
Because they already hate you.
Exactly, because they already hate you. So this is the time for you to, if you are going into the marriage, if you decide to go into the marriage, regardless of what we all say here, is to be wise about your decisions in terms of your children's future, if you have any in that relationship. That's all for me.
Rosie.
What I'll say is that when I was on March a few years ago, I heard of an association called Virgins Association. Now, when you started reading the story, I could tell where the story was going to go. That someone was going to bet to have a relationship with her or sleep with her or do something bad to her. It's just a word of caution that in this environment that we are in, if you choose to be chaste to yourself. No need broadcasting it and holding like a badge of honor. Later in life, you can hit your chest and say, whilst I was in so and so, I was this, I was that, I was that. Because the moment you start advertising yourself,
People want an opportunity
then
to
you have
destroy
people who want to prey on that and want to destroy it. And sometimes you don't know who is coming for good reason and who is coming for bad reason.
Yeah.
And anybody who has intentions, they put their best foot forward. Look, they can do that. It's like that's perfection in itself. And because of the goal, he set all out to do what he did. Now, I'm not condoning what he did, but I'm just saying that when you put yourself out there as someone who is so chaste, no man can, no, some man will take it upon himself to you. You know what I mean? So it's important that you are true to yourself. You know who you are. You know what is important to you. Keep it to yourself. If you have to share it with somebody to encourage them, that's different. But don't let it be public. As for this girl, there's no guy who can floor her. There's no guy who can have it. Let it be like, oh, this girl, she's all about learning. She's all about doing this. But not that no guy can get her. Now move forward. The intention with which the man decided to go out with the lady was wrong. He went out with the lady on a bet. Lied to her, pretended to be in love with her, only to get into her knickers. For me, he should feel embarrassed. But for the fact that he doesn't feel embarrassed, and he's selling the story in a way to
That
make
makes
it
her
look
look
like,
bad.
to make her look bad. Look, karma was well caught up with him.
Yeah.
Because the story said the lady went to work for a company and realized that the boss of the company was the father of the boy. He didn't set out looking for his father to date. It just so happened that the company that she moved to, the guy happened to be the boy's father.
But she had planned that she will get back at
And then
him
that
at
is
some point
when
in
she
time.
said, okay, I'll get back at him.
But that was only after
But
the
let
man
me
had
tell you
asked her
something.
out.
But let me tell you
Yes.
something. Low key. I'm sure the lady had some form of admiration for the man in the company. Like, oh, he's a very nice guy. He's a nice boss. Found out that he's the son and said, and yet I'll still go after him.
The lady
Because
didn't go after him.
Well, she did.
she
did.
for revenge.
She did.
She did for revenge.
She was a project.
They started dating.
No. She did.
She said that.
She said
She
was
planned that she would get back at him sometime.
Yes.
Then she now sees that the owner of the company is the
Is the
father.
boy's
And she
father.
now said that this is my opportunity
Yes.
for revenge.
So she got
Yeah.
back at. But the thing is that because the man is a solid man, I'm sure in the process of conversation and everything, at some point in time, I'm very sure that the woman must have told the man that, look, this is the reason why I got to be with you. But truth be told, I'm actually really falling in love with you. That's why the father is not even upset what the son
Exactly.
is saying.
Yeah.
And that's why truth in a relationship is very important. That when it counts the most, they would be the ones to even hold the thing and defend you and defend you to the maximum. So it's something that she did that's very commendable. Long and short, the girl is not a bad girl. She's a very good girl.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate that somebody who set out to take advantage of her got her in that manner. The man too, it's not like he has a wife at home and he's cheating on his wife or anything. The wife is passed. He's moved on. The wife met the girl after the wife passed. So
Divorced.
is it divorce? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. After he divorced the wife. So clearly, she's not a reason why
Of
the
course.
man divorced the wife. So to be honest with you, it's fertile ground. But I'd like to add a word to what Ticho said, that it's important that when you get to an environment and your in-laws don't like you, In as much as you are together with the person loves you, you love the person, everything, you need to have that mentality. What if?
Yeah.
What if? And that's where the investment and setting your kids in a certain place, their school and everything becomes very important. It may not even be after the man dies. It may even be after you yourself, you die.
Exactly.
Because when you yourself, you die, men, sometimes they may not have hands-on on everything. Now, those children become your family's property and you don't know what they'll do with them. So sometimes it's important that when you're in things like this, you put your head on the ground and know that you need to sort of, you can't ring fence everything. But as much as possible, try and ring fence certain things and make sure that their future is somewhat secured. If you're in a family and then they love you like my in-laws and things like that, Charlie, I can sit aloof and know that my kids are going to be taken care of. You know what I mean? But when you get to a place where there's this hostility, you need to make sure, because you realize that it's the two of you that are making a mistake. Once one person goes out of the equation, if you're not careful, it can get really murky. Yeah. But the girl is a good girl.
Now, a question I like to ask: can you? A lot of times when you are in a situation where maybe you're dating a guy and his parents don't like you, then it's like, oh, can you really proceed with this relationship? This is the opposite.
Yeah.
You're dating a parent, and now the kids hate you, your in-laws hate you, and the rest of
In-laws?
society look
Are they
at
still
you.
existent?
And the rest of society is looking at you like you're this gold digger who is chasing this man for revenge, which may have started off that way but has evolved very quickly into a love story. Now, a lot of times people are quick to advise someone, if the people don't like you,
Don't
don't
go there.
go there.
No.
Now, she should be taking marriage off the table and say, you know what? The rest of time.
No.
She should rather make it legal because,
Yeah.
because when she decides not to make it legal, she ends up being a laughing stock. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you actually take away the respect from yourself.
Yes.
Because now you even give the boy the boy who's making all this
Ammunition.
ammunition to say, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you're
just a girlfriend.
Yeah.
chick.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But once you come in, everything is official. You've done right by God. You've done right by man. You know that at the end of the day, is us against the world. So whatever they think, even when my mother got married, right? She married. It was after she got married that she ended up finding that my dad had other kids, right? And then we had to live with them. You can't force everybody to love. And no matter what she did as stepmother, they hated her. She would buy new shoes for them, she would do whatever she had to do, but they still hated her. So technically now she's become this guy's stepmother. I mean, she deserves
No,
he
me, I
deserves
think
it.
that, look, the boy
I-
should just suck it up.
he should just suck it up.
It's true.
He has caused all of this, and he
Yes.
should be the last one talking right now.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, you deserve to be happy, and karma comes around. Like
Yeah.
they say, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
And if thankfully you have a more mature version, you have a more loving version, a more caring version,
You know
who
it.
probably spends on you,
Preach
treats
it.
you like
A more sweeter and experienced version.
Sweetheart, enjoy it. Don't just for me, no. Just make it official and legally, enjoy it. And like my sisters have clearly said, make sure that you are guaranteed note so that in the case of an emergency, should one of you die, at least the other people you're looking to bring into this world would be sorted. Even you yourself, you'll
Yeah.
be sorted.
Yeah, another thing
AJ,
too is that you see, sometimes when people talk bad about you, ill about you, when they haven't experienced you, they have all these horrible emotions.
Yeah.
But sometimes, as time goes on, when they begin to experience
And
you,
know you.
those people become your champions. So, for instance, as for the boy there, he will forever be your hater. He is sulking. Listen, he is so sad. That's such a beautiful thing. Me meja, amami papa befa. It's his ego that is talking. He's just thinking that he is doing you bad. But you see, the thing is that once you get married to the man and you start treating him nicely, and this boy, in spite of everything, you treat him with dignity and some form of respect, and that is happening. You realize that as time goes on, his siblings are like, she's not that bad. The aunties, hey, my girl, we can you, or to say. Then you realize that as time goes on, you actually start turning your enemies into a fan base. Now, the man doesn't have an option than to sit somewhere else. At some point, these very siblings that are against you, they will be the ones who will be sitting with you and then doing stuff with you. So look, just be your authentic self. You are somebody with a good heart. You have a pure heart. The way Karma designed it, said that you went to meet the father, this same Karma will ensure that that nothing bad happens to you. So just make sure that once you are going with a pure heart and you love him genuinely, just love him. Everything else will fall into place.
Okay.
Olivia has spoken severally about her personal experiences, and we know how beautiful that unfolded. And I think that you can also have a beautiful story to share too. But just keep your eyes on the ball. Don't let these people pressure you into saying that you rather be a perpetual side chick. I mean, then where are you heading? You know, this man wants to treat you right, wants to treat you with dignity, with respect, loves you. I mean, loves you for who you are. Don't mess it up. Because some of these men, when they make that decision and you put water inside too much, the decision goes into the background and may never resurface. So once they have decided and want to do this, and you want to do it too, go ahead. Nothing should stop you.
Okay.
I think another crucial thing is people need to understand that the dynamics of every relationship is different and is peculiar to your issues. For example, if you were to marry a man who has children, the dynamics of your relationship will be different from somebody who is married, a single man who does not have children, plus you who do not have children. The dynamics of that relationship is different. Now, if you're marrying an older person too, the dynamics of that relationship is different. The question you asked being that, do they really matter in this equation? As far as I'm concerned, they don't really matter, because this boy is the man's son. If it was the other way around, where he is the man's father, then it would have been a lot more problematic, because then you need them to give you their blessing.
But you don't need his kids' blessings?
In Africa, no.
He's the kid. In Africa, no. As far as I'm concerned.
What about his sister's blessings?
His sister's blessing, yes. But have you wronged them? No. Is there a reason why they hate you? No. Like she said, if you play your cards well and you keep being a good person, at some point, like the same karma that took the guy to that point, will bring them to the point where they will realize you're a good person. And then we'll put the guy back in his place to realize that what he's doing, he's just being an infant, and he would change. Even if he doesn't, you really do not need his blessing. You just need to continue being the good person that you are to this man and to your marriage.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to piggyback quickly on what she said,
10 seconds.
The guy should rather be careful, because the Bible says, honor thy mother and the father,
Exactly.
on this land, so that thy days will be long.
Yes.
So if he continues to disrespect his father and his father's wife, then his days are really numbered.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
What's the threat?
All right. So we're going to go on a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be moving on to the next one. Do let us know your thoughts. What do you think this particular lady should be doing? Use a hashtag sister, and let us know all about it.